Seahawks, and thank you for joining us for another Student Live. As always, if you have any comments or questions for today's broadcast, just feel free to drop them right down below. And go ahead and take a minute to share this stream with somebody in your social network who you feel could benefit from today's segment. As I mentioned last week, today we are kicking off a brand new series as part of our lives entitled Live Your Values. So those of you who have been following us for a while probably know that Broward College is actually in its 60th year celebration. So we are continuing that anniversary celebration into this new semester by highlighting each of Broward's 6 core values and introducing you all to members of the senior management team so that you can be in the know about what the college is continually doing to embody those values. With me today to talk about the value of academic excellence and student success, I have 2 very special guests.
Good afternoon, Seahawks. I'm Janice Stubbs, and I'm Vice Provost for Student Services. And what does that mean, Vice Provost for Student Services? Well, I provide leadership to the areas of admissions, academic advising, student life, Seahawk Outreach Services, and our student initiative achievements. I also provide some leadership to enrollment management, which involves recruiting here at the college. I've been here at Broward College for about 30 years now. I was a child protege, and just kidding. And I have served in a variety of roles here at Broward, all in student services, because that is my passion, supporting students through the services that we provide.
Hello, yes, I'm Jeff Nassy. I am serving as the interim provost and senior vice president for academic affairs at the college. And so what does that mean? That means basically I support all of the academic programs at the college. So all of the faculty across all of the programs, they work with associate deans and deans. And my job is to support them in their role to make sure you have a quality education.
Awesome. We are so excited to have both of you participating in this segment with us. Before we get started, of course, I want to ask the 2 of you, haven't seen you in almost a year. How is 2021 treating you?
Okay, well, 2021. Well, I think I'm happy to be out of 2020. Of course, it doesn't appear 2021 will be any better as it relates to COVID. However, I think being grateful for the opportunities that we still have here, the opportunity to still provide a quality education to our students and provide services virtually certainly has been eye-opening for me and for us as an institution. And, you know, I'd love to hear from the students as to how this virtual student services is working for them and what do they like and what do they not like. On a personal level, I am not out and about because honestly, I'm serious about trying not to contract this. So I really even still have groceries delivered, but getting to really a lot of reflection, I think, is what I find myself doing. I have my television programs that I watch. I have books that I'm reading. I am part of a COVID book club with some of my friends and families, and just trying to stay still engaged and finding ways to enjoy myself with my family, both virtually well, mostly virtually. My daughter is here with me, my younger daughter, who graduated from college, and she's also working from home. So I'm happy to have someone else in the house with me.
2021, I would agree with what Janice said. You know, 2020 was so bad. I'm hopeful about 2021. I see the vaccines are getting out there. I know my in-laws who are in their 80s have had theirs. My parents have had theirs. So I feel like people are getting the vaccine, and I'm hopeful that that will continue. And as we head into the spring, we'll get back to more and more of a normal. And I also think we're getting used to living, and in particular at Broward College, kind of living and learning in this environment. So I think we're getting better at working with students and providing education in this environment. So far, so good.
Good. I'm glad to hear, like I said, New Year's hopefully treating both of you very well, and that there'll be good things to come. And this series is going to be a part of that, I have no doubt. So we're here to kick off this Live Your Values series in this new semester. We're going to highlight the college's core value of academic excellence and student success. So to kick us off, I'm kind of curious to know, in your words, when you hear academic excellence and student success, what other words or what else resonates with you?
Yeah, that's great. When I think about academic excellence and student success, I think about always at Broward College, this is about opportunity, right? The opportunity for our students. We're a college, obviously. And so I think about the opportunity afforded by higher education. And it can literally change people's lives. And we have all kinds of different academic programs and certificates, and people go to college for a lot of different reasons. Some people it's for work, some people it's to go on to another university. There's a variety of reasons. So when I hear about academic excellence, I think about, are we doing everything we can to make sure that education really does positively change a student's life, and that's what the student success is. And it's, of course, there are the career opportunities and going on to another university, but are you changing the way you're thinking? Are you learning at a better level? Are you seeing the world in a different way? We've all had those moments in our education, sometimes in school, sometimes not in school. That's changed our lives for the better. We've seen things in a different way. So to me, that's what academic excellence is about. It's that higher level of learning that can really be transformative for students and their families.
So when I think about academic excellence and student success, trying to think about what Dr. Nassi said and then think about it from another lens is, our responsibility to ensure that we're providing excellence in everything we do. When I think of the word excellence, I think of, us doing everything well and offering first-class services to our students and programs, because that's what excellence more or less means. And so when I think about our responsibility and what does that mean to our students, it's providing excellent in a consistent way, ensuring that what we're providing to our students, that we're assessing them and talking to them and getting some sense from them of what they need to be successful. Because sometimes we believe we know, and we really need to hear from students more to incorporate that into the equation, so that and really understanding that if we're not doing a good job, how do we ensure that we're always continuously improving what we do to ensure that students are, and to support, not ensure, but to support students in their quest for higher education. As to me, one of the best colleges in Broward County, we really provide and afford students an opportunity to access education in a way that's probably, unequal to anyone else here in this county. And so we have a responsibility to ensure that when they start here at the college, they're getting the best of everything, the best services in terms of advising, as well as, that we're offering them the best in our classrooms.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it does resonate with students, particularly in the value of academic excellence and student success, because to Dr. Nassi's point, saying that people look to education for opportunity, for doors to open. And I think that that's the whole intent behind Broward College, behind a lot of our state institutions, but for sure, absolutely Broward. And both of you kind of play a unique role in terms of this value, because we're overseeing two huge sides of the house, right? The student services side and the academic affairs side. So I'm curious to know from your own perspective, how do you really see that your role specifically relates or supports this value?
Well, we start with the point of recruiting, and in terms of recruiting, we're having to make sure that students really have an understanding of what Broward College stands for. How do we make sure that students truly understand what we provide at Broward, and what's the process for even being admitted to Broward? So my role really looks at the overarching onboarding process. So the application, the advising, the orientation, all of that, and making sure that we have the right tools in place for them to get through that process seamlessly. And it's not always perfect, but making sure that we're finding the right tools if we don't have the right tools. Making sure the staff have the right tools they need in order to support students well. Making sure that policies and processes are in place that facilitate both students and staff having that access in a way that makes sense to them, and that while they're here, they receive the services that will allow them to be successful. So when I think about my role in academic excellence and student success, it's making sure both students and staff have the tools that they need to be able to be successful at Broward, as well as removing any barriers or roadblocks, once they're identified, working with the teams in student services that we're removing all of those barriers, because we want students to have the best orientation. We want them to have the best experience, and we want to make sure that we're exposing them and providing them the support they need to actually succeed at Broward.
Yep, that's great. The what on my side in terms of the role is really looking at what are the programs we're offering students, right? They have to be relevant. And within those programs, what are the pieces? Is everything current? Are we teaching our students what they need in terms of moving forward? That's critical. Of course, part of my role is the who. Who are the faculty? Who are the associate deans who are delivering this? A big part of our work is how. How are we teaching? This interview in a Zoom format is an example, right? We're teaching a lot remotely. So how are we delivering our education? How are we assessing what students are learning to make sure that's all, happening towards their goals? So all of those things, what are we teaching? Who's teaching? How are we teaching these things? Are they having, and importantly, what's happening with our students? Are they getting the results that they expect out of their education? Are they getting that job? Are they moving on to the university? How well are they doing when they go on to, the University of Florida or what have you? So always looking at those things in terms of, are we maximizing the opportunities for our students? And so that's the fun part of my work is working with faculty and staff and trying to make that happen for our students.
Awesome. And on the subject then of maximizing the opportunities, I think both of you have been able to see during your tenure at the college how we do go about maximizing those opportunities, and specifically as it relates to this value. So I'm curious to know, during your tenure, how would you say that Broward College has really done an awesome job of embodying this value specifically?
Well, I think the first part about that, what I love about Broward College is we do a good job, I think, of listening to students. We need to always improve in that. But students, of course, will let us know when something's not working in the classroom, and we have to respond to that. So I think working with faculty and saying, all right, well, wait a minute, how could this be better? Could we shorten this session? Could we offer this class at a different time? Could we offer more of these classes? So number one, I think that I've seen is we're very responsive. We've done that in a variety of ways in terms of, what we're teaching and how we're teaching it. The other thing is working with our faculty in terms of professional development, right? Like any job, and I've been here a while too, we need to get better, and things change in the world, and we need to learn new ways of doing things. So looking around the world, frankly, across the country at colleges and say, oh, this is a new way of approaching teaching. Let's teach that to our teachers. So, this is a fun part is we're a learning organization. And I think Broward College does a great job of, we're learning as faculty, we're learning as staff, we're learning, our students are learning. So we're all learning to try to do a better job together. I think we've done that over the years.
I think one of the ways I think we embody that value is really ensuring that we're using best practice in everything we do, as well as looking out there to see what technology exists that truly can support our students. And so over the years, we've brought in different forms of technology to really engage our students. And for example, we recently acquired Navigate, and Navigate we've had since probably around 2017, and I'm going to use this time to plug it to our students. And one of the things that Navigate is a tool that supports students from the point of admission through graduation. So once you're admitted, it's something that students can get a sense of what are their to-do items that they have in order to complete the enrollment process, whether it's complete orientation, prove Florida residency, any of that's there. It also has information as to how to apply to, how to complete the FAFSA, with a lot of links to the kinds of support that students need. But a huge piece of Navigate is advising, and it's knowing your academic advisor, it's having appointments with your advisor, it's your advisor communicating with you We also have an app that's called Student Navigate that's available in the App Store, and we really want students to utilize that app because it does provide a medium for communicating with your advisor. In many instances, students are trying to find their advisor, but the advisor is trying to reach out to them. And most instances it's through email, and it's also important that our students use their email. So I'm going to plug that as well. But we acquire tools that will help our students and will support our students in really having access not just to the latest technology, but how to use the technology to support their success. So part of Navigate is every student has the ability to have an academic plan. And that academic plan outlines term by term what students need to graduate. And that's really important so that one, you're not completely dependent on your advisor for every time you need to know what class you need to take. And we're not saying you shouldn't ask your advisor that question, because that plan should be really built in collaboration between an advisor and the student. But also making sure that you understand how long it's going to take you to graduate. Because if you're on a part-time schedule, what does that mean for you? How long is it going to take you to finish this 2-year degree, which is only 2 years if students go full-time? So, bringing in technology that works for our students. I know many of our students are used to the MyBC platform, but we want to make sure that they also leverage this tool to advance their progression through graduation, and use it for questions as to the questions that they need to pose to their advisor, like, why is this class on my academic plan? What does it mean? Having an understanding of the courses that are required for BC graduation, but also the courses that are required to transfer to the university, if that's your choice. And, making sure that all of our advisors are well equipped from a professional development perspective to speak to careers and to really engage with students about what their life goals are. I think that's really important. So making sure our staff have the skill set in order to support students well, and just having the technology that our students need in order to achieve their goals here at Broward.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Vice Provost Stubbs, you actually hit on it earlier when you just said continuous improvement, right? That's kind of the name of the game. So it's like, how do we support students best in terms of making sure they're going to be academically successful or academically excellent, and making sure that they do have success while they're with us, if not for the sake of improving. Mm-hmm. And I think it's not just that improvement piece that falls with like staff and faculty, as both of you mentioned, but I think part of the responsibility sometimes does fall on students. So I'm curious to know from your perspective how you both feel that students can really best embody this value of academic excellence and student success.
Well, I think, our students really should take advantage of all the support that we have at the college. And reaching out for support is actually a fabulous thing. And that is embodying academic excellence and student success. Is really saying, I want this support and I want to take advantage of this support. And so, many times students sometimes worry about, how does it make me look if I'm not using it? Well, that's why it's there. That support is there for you to use. And we want you to leverage that support early on in your academic career here at the college. I really think that the support we have sometimes that, they're best kept secrets, and we're not trying to keep them a secret. We want all of our students to really reach out and say, I want to use this support. And by the way, when I used it, this is what I thought was missing. So they're also providing their feedback to us as to how we can improve that support that we're providing to them. So when I think about advising and I think about some of the resources that we have in student services, and, thinking through how hard sometimes it is for us to reach our students. I want students to be reaching out to their advisor, not at the point of registration, but to be having real conversations with them about their goals and their dreams. And how can Broward support those goals and dreams? What programs do we have to support those goals and dreams? Or even to say, I just know I need to go to school. I don't know exactly what I should be going to school for. That's a normal question. Most of us didn't arrive at 18 and just figured out what we wanted to do with our lives. So I want our students to be empowered to ask the bold questions and to engage us and to really challenge us to say, this is what I need and this is what I'm not getting. And this is what I need for academic excellence and to achieve any success at Broward. And, I'm always here. The deans of students are here. And so I want them to just be brave, to be brave and to challenge us and to tell us what they need, because that's one of the best ways that we can support their academic excellence and student success.
Certainly, I would agree with that. And what I would say for students, how can students best embody academic excellence and student success is they need to take ownership over that academic excellence and student success. And part of that means communicating, right? Expressing, well, this would be helpful. But really, one thing I know for myself, and I've had experience, of course, teaching in the classroom, is some students don't know what it is yet to be a college student. So taking ownership, this is what it takes, right? For higher, this is what it takes for a college degree, and being responsible. It's not just going to happen, right? You need to take the appropriate action to make that happen for yourselves. And that includes what Vice Provost Stubbs said, right? Communicating on what you need to be successful. And we'll do our part. We'll hope we do our part in supporting you do that. But you also have a big part in what that is, and expressing what your needs are and making that happen for yourself. And, part of that is work. It's taking those extra steps. Don't worry about it. Get the tutoring, take advantage of all of those. Talk to your faculty. I run into so many students, even in my own class, that don't take advantage of office hours. No, go there, have that conversation with your faculty. It's always funny when I'm meeting with a student who's experiencing some sort of difficulty in the class, and I'll say, well, who's your professor? And they'll say, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure of the name even. That's happened on occasion, right? No, you've got to be out there. You've got to know, the professor should know you, and take that part of it. So take ownership over your education and make it happen. And hopefully together we'll get that done.
Yeah, because this is really a partnership. It's really a partnership between us and students. So we can't be the only ones responsible for your success. So it's truly a partnership.
Yeah, and I love that. Like I said, the thought of ownership right at a college level, you make assumptions all the time that people know that going in, but that's not the case, right? So sometimes you have to have that reinforcement piece of being told, like, this is yours for the taking. But like I said, so you have to meet us sometimes more than halfway, because we're providing all the tools, like you both mentioned, all the resources. Then the question becomes, what are you doing with them? So I think that, like I said, excellent advice in terms of communication practices, outreach, like I said, utilizing those resources that we're providing. And like I said, both of you mentioned that we're still providing, even in a virtual format. So all of those are there for the taking. So I cannot thank you both enough for spending time with us and doing this. Thank you so much on behalf of all of Student Life, and really on behalf of the college, for sharing about your experiences in terms of your relationship to this value, and really what students can do themselves to be a part of this culture that we've created at the college, embodying academic excellence and student success.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anytime. And thank you, Seahawks, as always, for tuning in. If you are watching on behalf of a club or an organization, today's keyword is excellence. So be sure to write that down, and remember to check out the survey link in the description below so that you can send us your feedback about today's program. We hope to see you next week as we continue our celebration of Black History Month. We'll see you soon. Bye.